and I am till I'm here, I look for nobody. He can carry on your body. Say, don't give me the good arrow. And party, I'm here on the body. And then I'm here, I need to I'm here, no. I am going to give me the good arrow. I should be paid my own.
Hello, greetings. I'm Hasty Father of our Ministry International, and with me here I have Miss Mo, Monica Chow.
Yeah, hi.
Okay, we have Vladi Uja here with us. We have been on a 90 days Bible reading journey, which we just concluded, and we're about to enter into another one. These were our major admins. Yes, it has been a beautiful journey, and God has really been helping us. And we concluded the 90 days, and then we are planning towards another one, but then we're going to yeah. So it has been really a beautiful journey, and we're here to just discuss how was the journey, what we've learned, challenges, encouragement, and things like that. So please introduce yourself properly. Introduce yourself properly.
Okay, so once again, I'm Monica Charles, and for me, the journey so far has been amazing. Actually, the first one we had was, I think at the beginning it was exciting. Then when we got to Leviticus, it was should I call it war? Yes, it was a very huge war. I really struggled, but when we scaled through it was like wow. So for the first time in my life, I was able to read through Leviticus. So honestly, the journey was amazing, and I know to keep being amazing, to keep being epic. In fact, the epic should be the word I should use for this description. Yeah, so that's
Once again, my name is Udalaji. The journey so far, it has been great. Actually, it's an interesting one. Like, it has always been my desire to read the Bible. So when I saw the 90 days, it's like an opportunity. It's like a dream come true, and I grabbed it. The first time we started, it was kind of easy. I enjoyed it, but along the line, I won't lie, I have to stop. I have to stop because some things came in between. But I noticed that when I stop, there's this thought as it's always fighting me. There's something you are leaving behind. So when I start reading, I find peace. So I prefer reading, because if I don't read, my peace is lost. So I started reading for me to have my peace. I'll go and read.
Wow. That's the voice it took away your peace.
that was interesting.
Yes, thank you so much. So we have Miss Mo, we have Miss Ladi here. So we are just going to, we have in fact answered some of the questions like how was the journey. Then let me ask, okay, since we have finished the Bible in 90 days, if I can ask you, like, okay, you said let's maybe either 100 or 90, the aim of reading the whole Bible is to be able to see the Bible as a unified story. That's like one story, and then you can say, if someone asks you what's the Bible all about, you should be able to answer this what the Bible is all about. So let me be the first person to ask you, what is the Bible all about? How can you summarize maybe the whole of the Bible from Genesis to Revelation? Like, what was that central story you saw that maybe it went like this or like this, and then from start to finish?
Okay. So she said she's actually the first person who has asked this question. We've not really met anybody who has asked what's the Bible all about yet.
Yeah.
So for me, from Genesis to Revelation, then the whole story here is actually pointing towards one subject, and that is Jesus. And then this plan of God reconciling man back to him through his son Jesus. So at every point in the Bible from Genesis down to Revelation, you see that this whole story is still pointing to that same one person. It is not just talking about the people, those mundane things, those mundane activities, mundane events we see in the Bible, but actually still pointing towards Christ himself, reconciling us back to God. So that's what the story is all about. So if we can read the story with an open mind, then we will understand that it is not just about David, it is not just about Joseph. The story is not just about, it is his story and not just ours. It is his story bringing us back to God. So that's what I can say that the Bible is all about.
I think she has said everything, but to me it's a way of shaping our lives. Because when you read from Genesis, when he brought out the children of Israelites, it was for him to shape their life, not only to bring them out of slavery, but for them to know him more. So that's
Wow, that's actually. And there's something again. Sometimes we just a lot. I think a lot of people need to really join this journey, because we just sit down and then we just see the Bible as an ordinary story. Yes, it seems ordinary, but like I said, those mundane activities, just imagine after the creation of man, and then we met Noah, and then we met Abraham, and God telling Abraham to leave his kindred. It was just a normal activity, you get, and then God now telling him, I'm going to bless you, I'm going to bless so many nations through you, and then it looks like an everyday activity. Now we now get to Ruth, where she met Boaz, and it looks normal, but today when we check the genealogy and then we check everything, all these things, when we put them together, you now realize that, so all these things that actually came about actually led to this whole journey. And today we are now partakers of this divine plan. We are now enjoying this grace, this salvation that we see that is for free, but there are a lot of work that has been done for us to enjoy it. So don't just think that it was ordinary. Yes, it may seem ordinary. The activities in your life today may seem ordinary, but there is a divine plan at work in those mundane activities we see. So yeah, I'll just say.
All right. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, so the Bible you can take from Genesis to Revelation, like she said, is all about Christ. For me, one thing I saw was in the beginning, right? In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and then He brought man in our image. Then man fell. And then from that chapter 3 down to Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, it was all about how can God salvage that relationship back to bring us back. And then that was how He went to Noah, and God had to do what He had to do so that wickedness can reduce and the human race can still remain pure. Then took Abraham, and from the lineage of Abraham, that plan for Jesus Christ came all through. So even though maybe you see the story of David like independence, Solomon like independence, Abraham too, but later, like she said, we see the genealogy. And then yes, even at a point in time the Israelites were taken into captivity, God kept sending prophet Isaiah, Hosea, Joel, Habakkuk, all to tell them that, see, you people are wrong, but I'm going to send a Messiah, an anointed one. And then Jesus came, God restored us, and then we saw the early church started. Like she was talking about, God was now bringing, we were saying God was bringing His people to Himself. Yes, and then through that, Jesus came, He died, sent the Holy Spirit, and we continued the story today until Revelation when He will return back. So there was a past, a present, and the future for us.
Yes.
So the Bible is just very interesting.
Yes.
And one thing about the Bible, reading the Bible, if you read it once from beginning to end, and you see how much it connects, you now start liking to read it more and more.
Yes.
And so many things we see the life of these people, and we can see how so much they are like us. find it interesting.
Yeah.
So okay, that's well. If we want to discuss, there will be so much.
So
to
much,
discuss.
honestly.
Yeah. So now the question is, what was your preferable reading time? Like, do you have a specific time you chose, or
Yes. I only read 6 a.m. 6 a.m. because it's always quiet. So when I read by 6, I normally enjoy it when I read by 6 because the environment is quiet. Just like when I read, like me talking with God, because the place is quiet. It's just me and the Bible. So I prefer 6.
Yes. Maybe mine earlier than do. I think we started 5 a.m. with my sister, and then we decided to shift it a little bit later, earlier to 4 a.m. because we had people around the community that pray. So we just want to go do it ahead. So let's call it, I think, in the cool of the morning, right? Cool of the day.
my God, this girl was hallelujah, the cool of the morning.
Yeah, so 4 a.m. Yes, is my best time.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so for me, I'll say the first time when we did it in January, I was using the morning time, but this second time, I had a lot of journey, so sometimes I use the morning, sometimes I use the evening, yes. So, and we've had people that are either using the morning, or some people use the afternoon, some people use the evening. I think there was a time we had a meeting and Brogai was talking about how for him, he set a specific time to go for a walk. So instead of, because he was too busy, there was no time to sit down and read the hard copy. So he goes for a walk. So he's just speculated a specific time, that this time I'm going out to walk, just listen, and then just fellowship with God. So there was different time, and it's beautiful. So anyone can go with any time that fits most. So okay, this one I just invented it now. You were admins of different groups. So how was it? Maybe being an admin, going with people, checking up on people. Yeah.
For me,
Yes.
honestly, in my group, it's not easy. Posting, no one is responding. You keep posting, no one is responding. You chat them, they'll tell you, don't worry, I'm following up, don't worry. Okay, just drop something in the group. They'll be like, I don't like, everybody will tell you, I don't like chatting in the group. I say, I'm not saying you should chat, just drop something. At least just one. They will not drop, but that's just it. It's not easy. I won't lie, it's not easy because it's just like me, only me talking to myself. No one is responding. No one is saying anything.
Yeah, I think I understand where she's coming from. Although I think for the second leg, at some point, although I had issues with my phone, then at some point I just realized that even before I dropped the morning notice, I realized some people had already started dropping their message. So I automatically stopped giving the notice too. So that was what happened. But then I think most of the time she covers up, and then she'll be like, somebody will just drop done, and then she'll be like, please share what you learned today. And then the notice will be like, okay, when you are done, type done, and then share what you learned. And then somebody will just drop done or type done, and then they won't share. So by the time you now act, it now feels as if you're trying to force them to say something. In fact, let me even leave them. My own sister, I'll have to beg her. She has friend. I said, please, can you drop something? She said, no, see, everybody has said everything. I said, no, you are not everybody, you are you. Everybody else dropped. She's like, no, now, see, okay, see, that this is what I wanted to say, but this person has said. And I'll just get tired and be like, okay, fine, let's leave it. Then I'll comment her. I'll really comment her. Like every 2-3 days she drops the videos. Yes. Then the few times I decided to cover up, I know because my work can be very tedious. So by the time I get home, I'm tired. Then I will just tell her, okay, for this day I will help you cover up. I will wait for time. Time will not. They say time does not wait for anyone, but it is not easy to wait for time. Time will not wait for you, but the day you decide to wait for time, you will see yourself. I waited for 11. In fact, at that point, I said, Mama, I am going to share this post by 10, please. Because it seemed like 12 o'clock was 12 hours away from me. So seriously, thank you so much for all you do. Like, you tried, honestly.
You all tried, we are all agreeing. So me, what I do is, I will just set an alarm. If sleep come, I will sleep. When the alarm ring, I will wake up.
I don't sleep. I don't sleep.
Because if you go, you are
I'm
gone.
just gonna sit in the parlor. I don't sleep.
Oh.
I told her because once I sleep, once that alarm to provoke me, so I will not. I don't sleep.
Yeah, but it has really been beautiful journey. So okay, another question: what do you think about the community? Like, how do you what do you think about like reading the Bible with a community? How has it encouraged you, blessed you? Yeah, of course, like you said, there were challenges. Some people will never talk. You pursue them, they won't say anything. But how has it been, a blessing to you? Also.
Okay, it has, reading the Bible as an individual has a different, I call it Bible, and then reading it, it's just like, though this is not a physical community, but then there's this feeling you have that, okay, after reading, there are a set of people that I'll be meeting with today, this morning, and we'll share from what we understand, and then we grow in the knowledge of God. So it encourages you, it broadens, because this person brings what he has received from Christ, another person brings what he has received, and then they share, like we'll say, iron sharpens iron. So it now helps us, it helped me in such a way that even if I don't get to go to church, okay, we have weekly activity, so I'll have to wait for Wednesday, and then still before I now go to church on Sunday, but that I have a community that we study, we read. In fact, this is not just Bible reading, because we even, for the fact that we share means we are also studying. So for the fact that I get to learn something from Monday till Sunday, not just at the specific hour, people are dropping their own they are dropping revelations from the word at every point in time, so it helps you to grow. So it is a non-stop growth. So I'm really happy to be a part of this beautiful community.
The community, like, it's actually fun studying with people, because even the way we said, where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, is then they are missed. Like, at times I will read, and when I see where people drop some things, I'll be like, did I not see this one? So that's when I'll get to like understand. I'll not still go back and then check, because on my own, okay, I'm done reading. But when I see the one people have dropped, and okay, this is what I understood from it, I'll get to like pick it on my own. So that's, the community is really fun, actually.
Do you know that sometimes when she comes, we sit down and even still discussing?
At times I'll be like, I'll come and meet her, I'll say, see me, I don't understand this. Just answer me.
I'll be like, okay. Alright, then let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
But yes, it's amazing.
Yes, it's really amazing. It's been encouraging. Like, we did the Bible in 90 days first leg, and we did the Bible in 90 days second leg. And then during the second leg, so many people, when I start reading their summary, I'll be like, wait, is it the same thing that we read before?
Yes.
Everything becomes fresh and new, and it becomes like very interesting. So even if you read the Bible 100 times, you still find it interesting, you still find it new, and even the things that you found before, you find a new one.
You just read and you find that there's a revelation that you've not seen before. Sure, I read this one before, and why is it now here? Did I not read it?
You are getting more enlightened.
Yes, so getting to share with people is an encouragement. Okay, there was a time that I had to travel, and then traveling back to back, and then I was like, hey, it's almost 2 or 3 days I've not read mine. But I just had to encourage myself to read it, to catch up. because going with a community, it also like iron sharpens iron. It challenges you, it encourages you to want to catch up.
Yes.
If I was alone, I would say, Kai, I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow will be tomorrow, tomorrow will be tomorrow. I can remember the first time I said I'll read the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. I spent more than 6 or 7 months just in Leviticus alone.
That's my testimony. I told that 2021, I was in, I read from, not from Genesis, from Psalm. I was in Isaiah till the end.
Yeah, so there's that. You say, but when there is that community, it becomes like there's that, you have accountability partners, and even if you don't say you are done in the group, you yourself, you know that you have to be done. Yes, you have to be done. So you encourage people. They really challenge and encourage us to be better. And then yes, even going with the community. Okay, for the first time you realize you can finish the book of Leviticus in either 2 or 3 days. Yes, and it's really been beautiful going with the community. So we are approaching the end. What were the challenges faced? I think we've discussed it one way or the other, but maybe there were specific challenges that you faced while reading.
My major challenge was the group. That's just my
Admin challenge.
that's just my challenge. The group.
Yeah.
At least if they can don't share, at least encourage the admin. Okay, I'm done. That's just my major challenge.
We pray that this 100 days we'll be doing will have more, since it will be a bit slower, and then there will be one week. Okay, we'll do it from Monday to Saturday, and then we have Sunday to rest. Then we'll do Monday to Saturday again. So actually it's 100 days, but I think it's 115 days when we add all the extra Sundays graded. So we hope that maybe that time people will be more encouraged to share, since the chapters are not much. Some people said, we read so many chapters, I don't know where to explain, like what to say, how to summarize. So I just hope that this will be challenges.
I can't really say there was, except from the first leg was when I knew that I had some challenges. Like yes, I've never read the Bible like from Genesis to Revelation at a go. I could read from Genesis to this and then pause. Then some other time I will pick from where I stopped and continue. So I think January was the first time I sat down and then we read from Genesis to. So even that period, there were times where I would miss like for 4 days, and then I would tell myself, today we will die here. So I will sit and then I'll tell myself, no, use the audio. I said, we will not do audio. Since you cannot sit down and listen to the audio, now you have to discipline yourself and even read along. So for that 5 days that I missed, I would discipline myself and make sure that I cover up for that 5. It wasn't easy, but then I think it helped. Like I used to mention on the group that the reading the Bible or the Bible in 90 days is not a challenge. It is not a challenge. It is rather a way to build you up and then build this consistent reading habit, such that even if we are not doing the Bible in 90 days, you will just wake up, because it is a routine you have created. You will just wake up and then you know that there's an activity that you have missed.
Something missing.
So you just pick your Bible immediately, even if it is a chapter, even if it's a verse, you know that you pick, okay, no, this is what was missing, so I read. So that's what I feel the Bible reading, the Bible in 90 days has actually done to me. So those challenges of, now I don't find it difficult. This morning, when I woke up this morning, I picked my phone and I was about turning on my data. And then I realized, I was like, no, there's something you have not done, and that was 5:30. So I said, oh, let me just, at least I need to study. I had to turn off the data, went back to my Bible, and I picked Colossians. And so I read, when I finished chapter 1, I was like, this chapter is too short now, let's continue. And that was how I finished the whole book of Colossians this morning. So you see, that's what it does to you. Yeah.
Me, I face plenty challenges. Lights. Yeah, lights.
Honestly, we're actually doing the video.
Yeah, no, yeah, light became a challenge, and I don't know, maybe because of the rainfall.
Yeah.
We barely have light. You see me carrying my bag, using a bag, looking for me to go and charge because I have to post at night. Yeah, light was a challenge, and then I'll say network. Network has been good. There hasn't been network challenges except if you don't have money to post. So I do night stuff so that I'll be able to post for everybody. But so the light was for me major challenge, and yeah, sometimes I had to travel, and so like she was saying, if I have to travel and I miss a day or two, what I do is I put my phone on flight mode so that nobody can reach me, because I realized that the day I miss and I say today I will catch up, that's the time that everybody wants to call. I don't know whether it is, they don't know, of course.
And then you remember activities you've not done.
Yes.
You remember things you want to do. Yes. And people you want to talk to.
Yeah. So I'll just put my phone on flight mode, or I'll just off it. They'll say, we call you, your number wasn't going through. I'll say, hey, I wasn't available. And I must finish this thing. Yeah, so those are it. So encouragement. Okay, I wanted to say one thing, that if there was one thing I realized was we developed habits. Then you realize that, just like you said, you lose your peace when you haven't read it, and you have to read it so that you regain your peace.
Yes.
Because we have developed that habit that I have to read this Bible.
Yeah.
Yes. And then during developing that habit, it has become more like an addiction. It's a good one. It's a good addiction, having to read the Bible. And you're not just at peace. The day that I don't read it, I feel like that day part of it is not complete. Maybe I feel a bit edgy. I just feel I need to do something, like the day is not, something is missing. So it helps develop habits, and actually it is good because as a believer, everybody is supposed to read their Bible and have a communion with God. And another thing for me, I'll say, I learned a lot also serving. Like as we were serving as admin, sharing this whole thing, I know that as a person I was ready to, because I cannot be telling somebody to do something that I am not doing. So it helped me to develop accountability and also be serious. So even if I was a member, possibly I might give up. But who am I giving up for?
You cannot tell them to do what you are not doing.
Because you even feel bad, or you feel like a hypocrite. Yes. Like that. So it really helped me develop habits through service. So what are your encouragements, and how will you encourage others? We already talked about encouragement.
First, I will tell you this: read the Bible in 100 days. Don't get discouraged when you get to the book of Leviticus. That's very important. That is the first thing, because you will meet the do's and the don'ts. You keep reading this, you keep reading the laws, you keep reading, and you'll be like, God, when are we going? In fact, at some point you'll be glancing at one line. You keep reading one line. I'm sharing from my experience. So when you join, please, when you get to that point, tell yourself that I can do all things through Christ. It is His word, so He's going to give you that grace. In fact, you receive that grace to continue. And I'm encouraging you to join this because it's going to build you. It's going to build you up. Yeah, I'm just encouraging you that you should hold fast when you join. Thank you.
Only one the way to go.
Okay, my encouragement to everyone is try and join the community, because it's a place that's shaping your life. You don't just read the Bible, you get to understand some things, like even how to dress, how to communicate with people. That's just it about the Bible. It gets to shaping you. So just try. It won't be easy as from the start. It's not easy. But just for you to encourage yourself, okay, this is it. I need to read this thing to get an understanding. So that's just it.
So habits are developed in 21 days. So my encouragement for you is, if you join this, when you are joining, not if, when, because you join. When you join this 100 days that we are doing, or you join 90 days subsequently, just make sure that you pass day 21. If you pass day 21, it becomes easy for you. the first day to the 21 day, that's when we build habit. So 21 days, just 3 weeks. Just make sure that 3 weeks you are consistent. If you pass that 3 weeks, the rest will be a problem for you, because by that time it has become a habit. You will not be happy if you have not done it. So habits are built in 21 days. You lose habits or you make new ones in 21. So don't miss the first 21 days. When you hit it, it will be hard for you to leave it. Even when you leave it, you find out that you find yourself going back to it somehow. Yes, so I'll say that is it. So we are encouraging you to join the Bible in 100 days that we are starting soon. Yes.
And don't forget to follow our and subscribe to our channel too.
Subscribe
on YouTube. Pew.
Yeah. And this time around, we want to make it a bit different, because the end of the year is usually very busy, and a lot of people will be going through transition. Maybe marriage, maybe school, maybe Miss Mo, she's the one in charge of all this our cake. So there will be a lot of wedding cakes that will be coming to our table. Yes, and even her too, the wedding cake will be coming to their tables. Maybe wedding cake, birthday cake, celebration, anniversary. Yes, usually at the end of the year. So a lot of activities. So how can we make sure that everybody is being able to catch up and reading? So with that, I think most of the reading now will be either 30 minutes or 45 minutes. You are done with reading for a day. So I think that was why we checked that. And then people that are not, that find the 90 cumbersome, can be able to readjust to the 100 days. And then we gave that grace of 1 day a week. So that if you read from Monday to Saturday, then Sunday you can rest. But if you are not able to catch up for that week, you can use Sunday to catch up. Yes, so that is why we're going this way. I just pray God will help us.
Amen.
Yes. So once again, Helen, that is further. I want to encourage you to join the Bible in 100 days.
And I'm Monica Charles. I'm encouraging you to join the Bible in 100 days.
Now, Jaladi, you just have to join.
You don't have option. Alright, so cheers to the Bible in 100 days.
Yes.